Welcome, punters, to another episode of the Whispers Racing Podcast. As always, I'm joined by Matty. How are you, Matty?
Going very well, William. How are you, mate?
Good, mate. Very good. It's I love off-peak racing. It just lowers the stress levels. You can just go about it at your own pace.
Yeah, a little bit less expectations, but yeah, with that does also come less expectation on the horses as well.
Yeah, I think there's maybe not this week, but the coming weeks there's going to be a lot of easier races, and you can pick them apart, and yeah, you can bet with confidence. I reckon where your big races and especially 4-day carnivals, there's so many form lines and so many factors to take in, and it's just does your head in at the end of the carnival.
Yeah, well, that's why we are heading into the summer carnival, but you wouldn't know it if you're in Melbourne because we don't know if we're playing on a heavy, a soft, or a good track.
No, that's right. The weather's playing absolute wonders. I thought at the start of the week we are going to be working off a heavy 20, and now we could be working off a good 4, soft 5. I don't know. It's just I don't know. Jane Bunn just not doing her job properly.
I have absolutely no idea, and neither do we. Sydney's currently a heavy, probably going to be a good by the time Saturday comes around. So makes doing the form really, really easy, doesn't it, mate?
Yeah, especially when you tip Chartered House at $17 in the Caulfield Cup and tell everyone to have a saver on it, and yeah, you don't do it yourself. It's really good.
Mate, punting, you gotta love it.
Yeah, that's it, mate. But hopefully someone did it and backed it at 17s. Geez, it lived up to what I thought it would be, and yeah, it still hurts. But yeah, hopefully someone jumped on. If you did, you know what to do. Subscribe to our podcast, YouTube, any podcast platform. Everything we do is free, no hidden paywalls. So if we find you a few winners, all we ask for you to do, head over to Spotify, head over to YouTube, rate us, get involved, interact with us. I'm quite happy to interact with anyone that is positive. So please head over wherever you watch or listen, head over, subscribe. If you want to be part of the community, DM us. We'll put you straight through. November was quite a yucky month for the community. But best thing is, if I stink it up, Matty supports us by plenty of winners, and more importantly, the community get involved and find winners each and every week wherever they are racing. So get involved. Come join the fun. As I said last week, we'll be taking a month off with the podcasting from December 14th. That would probably be our last episode. We'll be back around the 11th of Jan. So more importantly, join the community because we'll be still punting and we'll be still previewing races, just not on YouTube or any podcast platform, because I think we both deserve a month off. Questions or talking points? I really don't want to talk about anything because the MRC is still giving me the shits, Matty. One thing I will say, it's Zipping Classic Day. It's normally at Sandown, and it's normally last week, and it's at Caulfield. I wish it was at Sandown, mate. It's just a shame. I know what MRC are doing. They're setting them up to fail, so then they can get all the good, bigger turnover, sending out free tickets, so then people turn up this Saturday, and so they go, oh, look at all the people turning up. They did it on 1,000 Guineas Day, and they'll keep doing it, and no media has the balls to say what they really think, and it's really disappointing. I'm passionate about Sandown. The participants are more passionate about Sandown, but MRC couldn't give two shits about members or participants. So that is my rant for the week. I dare MRC to get in contact with me and have a conversation with me about your free tickets. I've tweeted the chairman. I've tweeted the CEO. You don't have the balls to email me or even have a convo about it. In fact, one of you's blocked me because you don't want to hear what members have to say. So that's really disappointing because I'm not having a fair income crack and calling you arseholes or anything. I'm genuinely asking the questions. What's the breakdown between free tickets and paid tickets? And what are you doing for the people that are paying for their tickets? Are they being reimbursed? And that's all I'll say about it because just annoying the shit out of me that no one will get in contact with me or a media outlet to talk about it.
Mate, I don't reckon you could actually have a month off. You won't have a platform to actually air grievances with the MRC.
Oh, well, it won't be MRC. It'll be VRC next week because they've taken out a loan of $14 million, if anyone didn't read that article. So that was an interesting article that I need to dive a bit deeper before I launch into the VRC. So MRC, just not MRC, Moonee Valley, just stay on the hold. We'll get to you in the following weeks. But yeah, that's just my little rant, guys. And yeah, if you follow me on socials, you can see me each and every week write the same stuff. But it's me passionate about horse racing and just want answers to it. If they reply to me with an answer, I'll shut up and I'll walk away. But it's more frustrating when they don't want to respond to an actual question. Anyway, move on. Track stats this week: rail out 5 meters, Caulfield. Little bit of rain around if it arrives. They're saying 1 to 5 tomorrow, 1 to 5 Saturday. Don't know. It's hard to get a gel on what is actually going to happen. I'm going to work around a good 4 to soft 5. I think that's where we'll land. It wouldn't surprise me if we land on a 7 or a heavy. So one thing I do know, I think it's going to chop out the inside towards the middle of the card. So definitely watch and act. Stay close to your radio because your track managers are going to they're starting to be really honest, and which is really good for Saturday morning. Rosehill, rail true, heavy 8 at the moment. Not much rain around, so I reckon they could improve to a really soft 7, soft 6. So that'd be good for Sydney after last week's schmozzle of the weather. Track stacks I've got for Caulfield rail 5. Leaders win at 47%, mids 27%, the rear at 26%, lanes 1 to 3, 37%, lane 4 to 7, 48%, and lanes 8 plus 14%. So yeah, typical Caulfield. Look for your leaders up front. This week we'll be previewing races 3 from Caulfield and Rosehill. Matty, kick things off with Rosehill, race 3.
Thank you, mate. Yeah, as you said, heavy track up there at the moment. I'll be doing my form of kind of a soft 6. From everything that I hear, it is going to improve. So that'll be what I'll be basing my form off. Fingers crossed we don't get too much rain up there. Worm, have you got the odds for us for race number 3?
I do. Luckily, I am prepared this week, unlike most. Tabby time, $2.45. Number 8, 2, so the nose. $5. Unanimous, $7.50. State of America, $9.50. Man behind the money, 12s, and you can have 15 plus the rest.
It's all right. You'll learn that name by the end of the show. Well, you can have 2.45 on Tabby time on Saturday. I will not be touching it. The only reason I won't be touching it is because I'll be diving into it on Friday in the Mudgee Cup. This won't be running on Saturday. It will be running on Friday at Mudgee.
Okay.
It will be winning at Mudgee. And then it will be running Melbourne Cup Day in the big dance next year. Fair to say, you can almost back it right now for the big dance next year. Almost 12 months out. Well,
mate, PVL's sitting back just laughing, mate. He might be ringing you and making you a free member of the Sydney Racing Clubs.
The big dance is done and dusted. Tabby time wins tomorrow, goes to the big dance. It should be running better races than the fucking big dance. Yeah. So Tabby time, you can have your 2.45 here. It won't be running. It'll be running at Mudgee, and it will be winning. We'll get to that later on. Without Tabby time in this race, Worm, there were 4 that I wanted to have a look at. Man Behind the Money, Unanimous, Colour Sergeant, and Toes on the Nose. They're the 4 that I wanted to have a bit of a look at. Man Behind the Money, first up here over 1,800 metres. As previous runs first up, it's been across shorter distances. So I don't mind it first up across 1,800 metres here. The wide gate for me, Worm, that's the biggest concern. Jet Stanley on board, going to need to make a call. And I'm not necessarily sure he's going to want to go back. So if he does find cover and gets the spot, This horse has got the ability to be right in the finish. Unanimous. Look, backing up after Kemmler last week over 2,000 metres, look to handle the heavy track. I don't think it'll really get the conditions to suit here. But again, we'll be around the mark, but probably not where I'll be looking. Colour Sergeant, up in distance will definitely help. Third up behind an impressive tabby time. Been going through the distances very nicely. Wide gate, a little bit of concern again. And for me, could potentially be a little bit one-paced. I think it ran through the line quite well last start behind tabby time. But I think it could have the potential of being a little bit one-paced. Definitely a chance though, so one to take into consideration, especially at $23. Where I did land though was Toes on the Nose. Now this horse could win over 1,600 in a midway. Obviously, it'll find this a little bit harder, but I expect Nash to be exceptionally positive from barrier number 1. I think the inside race number 3 won't be too bad. I'm expecting Nash again to go forward. If something wants to take it on, they can definitely lead. Nash can take a sit and peel out to a better part of the track. So I think it'll get the run of the race here, Toes on the Nose. And that midway definitely matched up to what you need to do to be winning a race like this. So Worm, Toes on the Nose, around that 460. I think you're probably going to find that comes into about 320 after deductions when tabby time gets scratched. So Worm, Toes on the Nose on top. Man behind the money, I think we can have a small play at it. Around that $12, probably come into about $10. And the other one was Colour Sergeant around 23s. You could have a small play on it as well. But Toes on the Nose will be the main play here. Worm, how did you see this one?
Yeah, I did my notes before you told me that news. So I said $2.40 for tabby time is something I want to get involved because I can't see anything beating it. But I reckon just have something on tabby time now because if for some reason they change their mind, you can take the 260 because this will start at $1.80. But if it doesn't run, I've just watched a replay of Toes on the Nose. Geez, it was a soft win. The time wasn't that good compared to tabby time that ran the same day, same distance. But tabby time out, Jesus, I can't have anything on unanimous. I know it was a nice win last start, but it could not get out of its own way in Melbourne. Yeah, I just, and it shocked me at one last week. But yeah, I'm going to have to follow in. I can't see anything outside of it beating the one you've selected.
No, there's not too much depth to this one. So, yeah, it's not a bad call with Tappy Time. I'm very confident about it running in the Mudgee Cup. But for those who do listen to this tonight, and as soon as we do post it, it's not a bad call. Pop it on because if it does get scratched, money goes back into your account and you can load up for tomorrow or Friday at Mudgee.
Yeah, 100%.
I'll probably just be including Mudgee. I think it's paying about $1.90 at the moment. I'll be including that in a couple of all-ups rather than going too hard on the nose there. Again, though, $1.90, nice price. It's for a field that it finds itself in.
Yeah, 100%. Stay tuned for later in the show. That's all I'll say. Caulfield, race 3, benchmark 84, 2,400 meters. The odds, Cadmus favorite here, 440 roughly. Fire Glow 2, $6. Pesto $6. Grand Piero $6.50. Ruling $8. Kibosh $10. Farrago $12. Maserati Bay 12, and you can have 21 plus the other 3. Speed map here. It's a very interesting one. I have mapped Maserati Bay, Clever Man to lead this, but Pesto's the interesting runner here. 3 starts ago, it won leading. Last 2 starts in harder grade, they've gone back, and he just hasn't gone that well. So I could easily see this horse pushing up and being positive. and sitting behind them all leading. Maserati Bay, clever man. I've only mapped them forward because they're the only two that could go forward, but Selena Gaudre on it, high weight, claims 2, gets down to 60. I can see them pushing forward. Kabosh, Fire Glow 2. They're the interesting two with sticky barriers here, 8 and 11. One of them's going to be 3 wide, no cover. The other one's going to get cover from it. So it's hard to assess which one's going to be it. Cadmus, Farrago, they're going to be sitting no worse than midfield. Beautiful spots. Team captain, long arm, Gran Piero ruling. They're going to be fighting out who sits last and just playing positions. Tempo-wise, I can't see them setting them any records here. They're going to go quite below average. I think race on from the 600. Yeah, they're going to light them up, I think, with 600 to go. With that in saying, I'm happy to be with Cadmus here. I've loved its win last start at the Valley. On a night that lanes 1 and 3 slash the leaders with the most advantage, this horse sat worse than midfield, looped them, and won nicely. Last 2 starts, it's been at the Valley. I feel Caulfield's going to suit this horse better, bit bigger track. This horse has had 1 start at 2,400 over in Europe, beating Sweet William. Now, a lot of people won't know this horse, Sweet William, but he's been running in Group 2 races in Europe this prep. And some very, very good Group 2 races. That reads really well for me. And you wouldn't be hearing that info anywhere else. So I think that's vital information that this horse, it's beat over 2,400 meters, is stacking up over in Europe. So 2,400 won't be an issue. $4.80 is a good price for me to find out. That's top odds with Tab. I think if you get around $2 to place come race time or better, I'm going to be seriously having a good size bet at the place at $2. Currently $1.95. How the market swings, I've got real no advantage here. They may have a little play at ruling here, but it wouldn't surprise me if Cadmus is a firmer. But just got a feeling they might just let you on for a good price. 2 horses I've marked incredibly shorter than the prices they are, and probably a 20% edge on the market is Maserati Bay. Who ran last start and was really good, but its runs have been mixed. And it's hard to get a real advantage if it's going well enough or, it's going to win. It's up and down. It's mapped advantage. Trainer's going at 20% of his last 100. Has form out of its race that it's coming out of. So if the real Maserati Bay turns up, it's a definite winning chance. The other horse that I've got marked incredibly shorter is Kabosh. Copped an absolute stinker from Nash last start, was sitting near last, took off early to sit right on the lead speed, and he took off when the race was on. It deserved to drop out, and it did. Ran 3rd, beating a margin, but still ran 3rd. So I've given it a big tick, that run. Map is questionable here. As I said, could be 3 wide with no cover. It wouldn't surprise me if they go back. Real sticky map. But Sydney form can be quite deadly when they come down to Melbourne. Waller as well. Tick. Ruling. Interesting runner here for me. Of its last run, I was keen to follow. Had a 4-kilo apprentice on it, and the horse wanted to lay him in the last 300 metres. He didn't have any control of the jockey. Cost itself the race. Has form around Mr. Waterville in Europe over 3,200 metres, who's going well in Australia off the spring that it's had. Map is quite a disadvantage for me. It will be last, I feel, or widest runner. Not really a good combo for Caulfield, that is. Widest runner, last. I thought any jockey change from last start would be a positive one, and it wouldn't worry me, but John Allen goes on. He's only going around 8% when he normally goes around 16% for his last 100. So pretty keen to take this horse on. Mark this horse a lot higher in the market. So happy to take it on. But keen, had miss Matty.
Interesting race. Quite tough. A lot of different form lines. Pesto's one that I've followed. Interested to see how it goes. little bit disappointed of late. Grand Piero was exceptionally good a couple of starts back in an Ararat Cup. So I think it's definitely got the toughness here to stick with this lot. One I was just having a bit of a closer look at. Fire Glow 2. Now, Willow was riding this, has now jumped off, and he's jumped off for Farrago.
Yeah.
He's ridden Farrago before. Last time he was on Farrago, he ran third over 2,400 metres at Caulfield behind Seawaters. You kind of have a look at the races that Farrago's been running around in. Group 2, Herbert Powers. Group 3, Geelong Cups. I'm not really seeing too much else in terms of that group company. Now, Farrago at $12, not necessarily a big push, but I think it's one that you can definitely take into consideration at some decent odds. I'm quite comfortable with your selection with Cadmus. But Farrago, yeah, one I don't mind, and the other one to take into some consideration would be Grand Piero after that Ararat Cup win.
Yeah, it's as I said to you earlier, I think this race is full of horses that have found their marks. And then you have your Farragos, your Pestos that are coming back to 84, which is better rated for them. They're around the 84 mark. So they're coming back well in grade. But their grand finals have been thereabouts and gone past. Where Cadmus fourth up, only a 75 rater. I think haven't found the ceiling with this horse. And that's why I put it on top. But Fire Glow 2 as well, like going well. And yeah, Willow jumping off, it just grazed me up a little. Like, why would you jump on Farrago? Fire Glow 2 was huge last week against, I think, a really good form race in Gregor Limo, Fujita Sand. So, and even Little Minx. Like, I know someone's going to be tipping Little Minx later in the show, but yeah, I think they're the two you can follow, Cadmus and Fire Glow 2, if you want to have two bets. Around the grounds, Matty, where are we going?
We're going to stick up in Sydney. As I said, I'm working off a soft 6 track and quite comfortable to be doing that. We'll be going Rosehill race number 1, one that I've been waiting to hit the track for a little while. Obviously, I'm not the only one because it has been quite well found in Storm Boy at $1.90. I expect this to run exceptionally well. Be surprised if it doesn't feature within the finish. And I think $1.90, similar to Tabby Tom, around that same price. It's one that you can play within a few of those all-ups. We'll then jump to race number 9 at Rosehill, and we will be backing Little Mix. Now, been running exceptionally well. Not too affected by the track conditions, so if it is a soft track, I'm quite comfortable that Little Mix will be able to handle it. Looking forward to seeing it back over 2,400 metres. Did have one attempt and then came back in distance. This is its second attempt back up there. Looking forward to seeing how it does run. The two biggest dangers are favourite in Skylab, and I thought Dark Dream added some value as well. I thought it could run a good race, so consider those for your quaddies, but I will be with Little Mix. Worm, we have mentioned the Munchie Cup on Friday, so I won't mention it too much more, but Tabby Time will be going there. We'll be winning to head to the big dance, around about $1.90. Hopefully we can get $2.
I'm just Googling where Mudgee is because I've never heard of it before.
We'll be tuning in.
Oh, we'll be tuning in. All right, don't worry. Around the grounds, I'm going to go to the Greyhound Saturday night. It worked okay for me. So we'll go again. Sandown Park Greyhounds, race 3, box 6, Mapunga Reward. Now, this dog will step slowly. It'll probably be last in the first 10 metres, but if this dog gets clear air, I can guarantee you this dog will win by 10 lengths and easy. This is a powerful dog, and I'm confident it wins, but it depends on how much clear air this dog gets. If it gets it completely beautifully, $2.10, take it. But it's up to you. It will cop a check. It's just how far where it's sitting. The dog likes to look at the others when the others have jumped out. But when it gets around that side, wowee, it is a great turn of foot. So race 3, box 6, Mapunga Reward. Then we'll go to race 5, box 7, Hector Frawley. Now, jump on the Tab app website here or the app. Go and watch this dog's last run last Saturday night in the Melbourne Cup heat. This was bloody amazing without winning. Jumps up to the 595 now. Now, this will suit the dog a lot better. If this dog runs anywhere near its fastest time over the 595, they won't be getting anywhere near this dog. It is a serious Group 1 winner in the making, and $2.30, take it now. Race 5, box 7, Hector Frawley. And obviously, best bet of the night, I've got to go again. Sandown Park, race 10, the Melbourne Cup, box 4, Big Energy, $1.85. This will win the Melbourne Cup. This dog is absolutely flying. He went 497 to the first turn. And if it repeats that, no dog will get near us. It'll be too clear on that first corner. This dog is showing no signs of dropping away. Very average field, this. If you want to add a touch of flair to the race, take Big Energy to win. And then for second in your exacta, take box 1, Mapunga something. I was with this dog on Saturday night. It gets box 1 again. It will be running second to Big Energy. So if you want to add a little bit of flair, 4 to beat 1, but very keen at $1.85 for race 10, box 4, Big Energy. All right, multi. I am going to throw in Cadmus the Place, Caulfield race 3, and Sandown Park Greyhounds race 10, Big Energy to win. Matty, you're throwing in?
We'll throw in a little mix, race 9, Rosehill the Place, Storm Boy the win, race 1, Rosehill, and Friday, Tabby Time to win.
Wow. Okay, so 5-legger, $28. Caulfield race 3, Cadmus the Place. Sandown Park Greyhounds race 10, Big Energy the win. Mudgee race 7, Tabby Time the win on Friday. Rosehill race 1, Storm Boy the win. Rosehill race 9, Little Minx the place, $28. We're going to Sizzler. I can feel it. Pineapple of the week, Matty, you had to hand it over. It's unfortunate.
The map's still in the car park.
Yeah. Unfortunate because it's one of those races that it was a great bet and you just copped an absolute fucking stinker of a ride. Maybe the race shape was poor as well, but why the hell would you take off on a brutal tempo at the 800-meter mark to get into the race? Like,
yeah, strange one.
Me, it was a stinker. So Benny Price, you could be in the sack file for us, and you won't be appearing on any of our podcasts again. I don't know. It is just a stinker, but we got to move on. We got to find more winners.
We just want to know your pineapple this week.
Yeah. Can I take 2?
Oh, what, Friday and Saturday?
Yeah, because I think this horse can win on Friday, and you can back up 8 hours later and win again. So no surprise where I'm going here. Mudgee race 7 Tabby Time into Rosehill race 3 Tabby Time. So it's Tabby Time all time. I just think it wins, guys. I can't believe it. Even $1.90 at the moment for Mudgee. Oh my God, it starts at $1.50. And if it goes to Rosehill, it starts at $1.80. Like, I very rarely go up Sydney. But when Matty said he's previewing this race, I wanted to get involved very, very quickly. So get involved, punters. Mudgee race 7 Tabby Time. And if it's scratched for some stupid reason, we're going to go to Rosehill race 3 Tabby Time at around 260. So, yeah, that's the end, Matty. Any final thoughts?
No, mate. Just off peak racing. Looking forward to it, mate. Horses need to win races, and we need to fill up our accounts for Christmas.
100%. We got, more importantly, we've got to fill up these listeners' pockets.
Absolutely.
Ballarat Cup next week, and I don't like Ballarat Cup day.
Well, mate, we did tip the winner last year for the Ballarat Cup.
Banker's choice.
We did.
bang. But I might go wherever Friday night is, Cranbourne or Pakenham, wherever they're going to be. But we'll be back next week. Hopefully we fill your pockets up. More importantly, I hope you fill your pockets up. Get involved, community, subscribing, everything. We'd really love your support. We'd really love you to get involved. So if you're thinking about it, come for a week, all free, no charge. Have a great weekend, and hopefully we find you plenty of winners.